Hello, Namaskar, good evening. This is Balneet Singh Bedi. I welcome each one of you to Tathastu Institute of Civil Services, the daily news analysis. We'll quickly start with today's session. Today is 6th of September, The Hindu. Two important news from the mains perspective, and from the prelims perspective, we have two others. Now, the first under mains Manthan, we have US, who is saying that India, Russia, China are having a collaboration, the other countries, and it is asking India to decide one of the path, either pro-US or the country in coordination, cooperation with BRICS nation, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Good evening, Ekta, Neha, Mansa. Good evening, everyone. Now here we will be seeing that what exactly the US foreign policy is all about, and in the second news which talks about India's strategic autonomy in multipolar world. Now this has been written by Shashi Tharoor, the MP from Thiruvananthapuram. Here, what does the term strategic autonomy means? That our nation is able to take independent decisions in its foreign policy, in its defense policy, and it does not have to intervene or take help or take interference from any other nation. So we will be covering in detail here, and here he very dramatically reiterated that Jawaharlal Nehru's policy of non-alignment has been changed during the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's time to multi-alignment policy. पहले नेहरू जी बिलीव करते थे नॉन अलाइन मूवमेंट, हम किसी के साथ अलाइन नहीं करेंगे, बी इट यूएसएसआर or be it USA. We believed in the non-alignment policy, but now we want multi-alignment. We want good relations with USA. At the same time, we want good relations with China, with Russia, with Australia, and all other countries. So we can't be pro-West, we can't be anti-West. It's all about one thing is very clear in the international relations. We do not have any permanent friends or permanent enemy. So it's always about the interest which is permanent. Then comes under prelim Sarthi, role of teachers in a student life is paramount, as said by Rashtrapati Draupadi Murmu ji. Now exactly this news is not important, but here she has quoted National Teacher Awards. The awards has been given to 81 teachers, but in newspaper you have 7 to 8 examples which I would want each one of you to skim through, to have a glance over and to look, so that you can use those examples in your GS1, GS2, GS3 or GS4 paper along with the essay paper as well. So I have just included those examples in the slide. Then comes the last part, new technology conclave to replace the science congress. Now it is basically a sort of a conference which is going to take place in Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi, and here the name has been changed, ESTIC. Earlier it is known as Indian Science Congress, but now it is known as Emerging Science and Technology Innovation Conclave. Just the name has been changed. All you need to remember is this has replaced the Science Congress. Now we move with the first news, that is US has lost India, Russia to darkest China. Now this guy is very unpredictable. His foreign policies are very emboldened. You can't predict USA or any next move which this country is planning to take, as they have imposed 50% tariffs on India, the 25% reciprocal tariff, as well as another 25% as the secondary sanctions because of the import of Russian oil. We are dealing with that, but India has decided at the same time not to bow down before the United States of America, and we look after all the challenges which definitely Indian economy would be facing, Indian exporters would be facing, but that will not derail the process. Then comes the first slide here, which talks about that it has criticized India. US has lost India to China. Shanghai, as we all know, Narendra Modi has participated in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, that is Tianjin. We will be covering that in detail as well during the upcoming classes, if an editorial would come entirely on that. At the same time, it is saying that India and Russia are aligned with China. they may have prosperous future, then frustration and all of that which is not exactly relevant. Then comes the Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick. He is the one who is making all sort of tariff decisions, right? He's the Commerce Secretary. The way we have Ministry of Commerce and Industry, same way, this is the one. Exactly, Ekta, no one is taking him seriously, right? Recently, China pulled out of CPAC. China pulled out of CPAC, Abhishek? You need to check. You need to check your fact. How come China, Pakistan economic corridor, China would not, come out of CPEC? Whether it want to align with US or continue its participation with the BRICS. As I've told you, it is giving options to India, either be with the BRICS or be with the West, USA. But as always, India believes in strategic autonomy. India knows what decisions it needs to be taken, as well as the another one. There was any role by a PM during 100%. 100%, Abhishek, it has a big role. If our PM is visiting Tianjin, building good relations with all the SCO countries, all the Central Asian nations, as well as Maldives, Nepal, all other countries who have been presented there, even they were not the members of the SCO, but definitely we played a very important role by visiting those, the summit, and it called for stop being a part of BRICS, signaling a growing divide over the global alliances. Then comes that India has not officially responded, but it has argued that US tariff, the 50% tariff on imports, result of miscalculation. And it also talks about कि India जो oil purchase कर रहा है Russia से, that has also been criticized among the Russia-Ukraine war which is going on. Then talks about Indian officials emphasize कि targeting India after this, it's a miscalculation. Even उनकी खुद Republican Party के खुद कुछ lawmakers are criticizing the policies of the Trump administration, that you should not spoil relations with India despite being 27 years of diplomatic relations can't go in vain, and there is an internal criticism detrimental to long-standing ties between the two countries. Then comes India's strategic autonomy in a multipolar world, as I told you, written by MP Shashi Tharoor. Now here, what do you mean by the term strategic autonomy? Anyone? Quickly. Anyone, what do you mean by the term strategic autonomy? Absolutely, Ekta. They're advising him, but he's not listening to anyone. He's not listening to anyone. So basically, strategic autonomy means the ability of a nation, right? The ability of a nation to take decisions independently in the foreign policy or in the defense policy without any sort of interference from other side, from any sort of interference from the other countries. So that is strategic autonomy. As I've told you, Jawaharlal Nehru believed in non-alignment, but now the situation has changed. Modi believes in multi-alignment. Multi-alignment, we want, it's not a Cold War era, है ना? कोई ऐसा तो है नहीं कि only USA, USSR is there. No, now we want good relations with China, we want good relations with Russia, Israel, Australia, UK, European Union as a whole. All of these countries are really important from our own perspective, and we'll be having different foreign policy with different countries, and no of the country can intervene in between. It covers GS2, international relations. Now first thing comes, that is strategic autonomy. As I've told you, nation's ability to make decisions independently, foreign policy, defense, external power or alliance. It's not about isolation or neutrality, but it's about flexibility. See, पहले का टाइम कैसा था कि नॉन अलाइंड है, भाई मैं किसी कंट्री के साथ नहीं हूं, मैं आइसोलेटेड हूं, है ना, मैं न्यूट्रल रहूंगा सबके साथ. बट अब का टाइम वो नहीं है. Now you have to be flexible in your foreign policy with different countries at a time. You can't say कि भाई मैं अगर US का US is against Russia, so I'll be also against Russia. No, we have continued to import our oil from Russia because that is there to stabilize Indian oil market. We have 140 crore citizens to look after. Who's going to look after the oil needs of such, the energy security of India? And we are also contributing to stabilizing the oil prices across the globe. So it's about flexibility, it's about independence, about balancing multi-global relationships. Now its own energy, as I've told you, Nehru's non-alignment to Modi's multi-alignment. Now these are the keywords which you need to remember, and you can use it while writing your answers as well. Then comes that global order is shifting. Basically, you know, it's slowly, of course, it will take time. Now it's no more unipolar US. Now it was more multipolar, right? It's more multipolar. Now what is China assertiveness? China assertiveness means China's aggressive expansionist policy, China's territorial aggression, China's maritime aggression. All of that is a part of this. Then comes Russia's revisionism. Now Russia's revisionism means that Russia जो established international rules है, international regulations है, उसको सुन नहीं रहा है. It want to change all of this. It doesn't want to continue on that pattern, and that is the Russia's revisionist policy. And definitely there is divided West. So they are facing the challenges of recalibrating its relationship with major powers in trust, economic growth, technological advancement, and regional stability. Then comes the India-US relationship. We had built a strategic partnership with US. We are focusing on defense cooperation. All must have heard about LEMUA, COMCASA, right? BECA, all of the defense agreements, right? We have joint military exercises. We have Yudh Abhyas as the joint military exercises between both countries. We are also buying the planes from US and we are asking कि हमें technology भी provide करो. Then talks about कि technology transfer despite strengthening, friction अभी भी है over the economic issues such as tariff, sanction, disagreement over India's dealings with Russia. अब India का response is always measured, well cautious, well coordinated and independent stance we always take with US without compromising the national interest. अब बात आती है चाइना की. चाइना का भी बच्चे बहुत क्लैश है. You all know about Galwan Valley clash, right? Galwan Valley clash. You must have heard about Doklam standoff 2017, Doklam standoff, and definitely LAC is another one of the issue where we are having 3488 kilometers, but China सिर्फ 2000 किलोमीटर को ही recognize करता है, and it says that Ladakh and Arunachal Pradesh are our part. It's the part of Tibet. Okay, 1 second. Okay, then we will begin to, despite tension, it remains one of the most largest trading partner, continues to engage with this through BRICS and Shanghai Cooperation Organization. BRICS you all know. Okay, who are the recent members added to BRICS? Quickly tell me everyone. Recent members कौन से हैं BRICS के? Yeah, string of pearl policy. Basically this means that it is encircling the entire India through various ports, through defense, you know, Djibouti you talk about Hambantota, talk about Gwadar port. It is encircling the Indian Ocean region. BRICS new members are basically UAE, Egypt, Ethiopia, Saudi Arabia, all these are the Indonesia, all these are the new members who have joined the BRICS. Okay, and Shanghai Cooperation Organization, we have India, we have China, we have Pakistan, we have Russia, then we have Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan. All these are the members of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Very good. Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran. Yeah, Iran as well. Iran I missed. Iran as well. Right? India's strategy balancing deterrence and engagement, strengthening defense capability while maintaining diplomatic relations with China. Then Russia ke saath bhi we have historical solidarity. We have never condemned Russia for its war against Ukraine, but we have always asked them for peace. We have always asked them for peace, that it is the era of peace and not the era of war. Despite Russia's growing ties with China, isolation maintains its ties with Russia. हमने डिफेंस की डील्स भी करी. We have what? Sudarshan Chakra. You all know S-400 missile. Mission Sudarshan Chakra was also one of the important part of the Modi speech. Then India continues to diversify its defense partnership, explore new avenues of cooperation, resist pressure to abandon Russia. Then talks about India as a voice of the global south. So here during this presidency, it is a leader of global south, assertive, plural, independent. Global south are all the developing economies. And कौन सी line ने इसको famous किया था? Basically it was branded line in the year 1980. Right? So this line divides the global north versus global south. India का approach emphasize intrastate partnership rather than ideological alignment. So either they are asking us to be pro-West or they are asking us to be anti-West. Right? Then उसके बाद बात करते हैं हम domestic and technological dimensions. Strategic autonomy, it also requires domestic strength. अब domestic strength क्यों चाहिए बच्चे? हम ये तो कह देंगे कि भाई हमें दूसरी फॉरेन की दूसरी कंट्री इंटरवीन ना करे, यूएस के साथ रशिया खराब हो रहे हैं तो होने दो, बट एट द सेम टाइम व्हाट मोदी जी इज आस्किंग फॉर? मोदी जी इज आस्किंग फॉर मेक इन इंडिया. मोदी जी इज आस्किंग फॉर वोकल फॉर लोकल. बेसिकली जितने भी गुड्स प्रोड्यूस हो रहे हैं, हमारे जितने भी अब एक्सपोर्टर्स अफेक्ट होंगे, उनके गुड्स इंडिया में ही यूज होने चाहिए. एंड दैट इज व्हाई इट इज सेइंग वोकल फॉर लोकल. ओके, देन कम्स कि इकोनॉमिक रेजिलियंस होना चाहिए, टेक्नोलॉजिकल कैपेबिलिटीज, पॉलिटिकल कोहेरेंस. Then we talk about India's autonomy must extend beyond traditional security to data sovereignty, digital infrastructure, as well as supply chain security. This is as a conclusion you can learn, portrayed as civilizational, plural and political, aiming to carve out independent sovereign pole and rebalancing the global order. अब बच्चे हमारा जो सीन है इंडिया का, it is a very old civilization, right? We have oldest civilization and at the same time we have provided various lessons to the world in order to bring peace, in order to bring stability in the global order. In order to bring stability in the global order, it has described as resilient, adaptable, maintain its agency without becoming entangled. तो भाई ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर यूएस हमें कहेगा कि तुम अब बैठ जाओ तो हम बैठ जाएंगे, हमें कहेगा खड़े हो जाओ तो हम खड़े हो जाएंगे. We will not act like this. We are own independent. We know how to take independent decisions and we will be bound by that only. Then we move to the next part, that is role of teachers in a student life is paramount. So if you look here, this is the Draupadi Murmu Rashtrapati Bhavan, Rashtrapati Ji in the Vigyan Bhavan, New Delhi. Teachers Day examples which can be used in the GS papers. So just quickly we will be reading Shashi Paul from Himachal Pradesh. So basically she had taken lot of efforts for sports training, pedagogy, then multi-grade, multi-level this. Then Hitesh Kumar Bhundia, Rajkot se Atal Tinkering Labs. Basically these are innovation labs. Then Narendra Singh, IT Park, Smart Library, Herbal Garden in the school. Neelam Yadav, basically she has created digital lab. Madhurima Tiwari, she has dilapidated school into a thriving educational institution. Kumari Nidhi, Bihar se prevent child marriages. So all of these are just the example, which you can learn and you can use all of them in your GS papers as well, right? Ethics के पेपर में भी आप इसका यूज कर सकते हो. उसके बाद बच्चे last point comes, that is new technology innovation conclave to replace the science congress. Now if you look here, Department of Science and Technology, it is organizing first ever STIC, right? This is STIC, so it stands for Emerging Science Technology Innovation Conclave. It will be taking place in Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi. Okay, here it's going to take place. It is by Department of Science and Technology. Okay, all you need to remember this, and it will be replacing Indian Science Congress as well. Okay, so with this we have come to the end of today's daily news analysis session. जीएसटी से रिलेटेड भी न्यूज में एक एडिटोरियल था, बट उसमें कुछ भी ऐसा इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं था which needs to be discussed. We have already discussed GST in a holistic way in the past many days. In future अगर SEO पे कोई भी एडिटोरियल आता है वो definitely cover it because it's important from your exam perspective as well. This year they have asked questions from BIMSTEC, they have asked questions from BRICS, so definitely SEO is important as well. With this I conclude. If you have any, हाँ एकता बच्चे आज no PYQs but I will make sure to add them, है ना. आज मुझे लगता भी नहीं है कि हमने कोई ऐसा टॉपिक डिस्कस करा है जिसमें PYQs you know required ho. I don't think so. Thank you Rishi, Ekta, Deepika. Thank you so much. If you face any problem, anything, drop down in the comment section. Thank you so much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you.